Hello, this is Whitney from the Northland Library Computer Center. You may remember that we used to offer in-person computer classes on topics such as Microsoft Word, Excel, and cloud computing. We are currently unable to provide the classes to you at the library, but we can bring the classes to you in video format so that you can learn from the comfort of your own home. In this video class, you will get the chance to practice your presentation creation skills by creating a slideshow presentation. Instead of focusing on using one program like we've done before, you will get the chance to try out two presentation creation programs, Microsoft PowerPoint, seen here, and Google Slides, seen here. By learning to create a slideshow in two separate but similar programs, we hope this allows you to compare them and help you decide which option better suits your specific needs and comfort level. To get a better idea of which PowerPoint and Google Slides features we will use, here is the class agenda. We will learn how to open the program and start a blank presentation, review the on-screen features, the ribbons, tabs, commands, and menu options, how to add slides and type text in the slides, choose the design theme for the slides, save your work and name your work as you go along, insert visual content like images and videos, include engaging elements such as slide transitions and intra-slide animations, learn different ways to view the presentation, learn online and offline options for accessing the presentation, learn how to share and collaborate, and then compare the pricing options for both services. After going through these features together, I hope you feel more comfortable using them when you create your own PowerPoint or Google Sheets presentations for personal or work purposes. I will demonstrate these features using the 2016 version of Microsoft PowerPoint and the Mozilla Firefox browser for Google Slides. You can still follow along and use these same features if you have a different version of PowerPoint or a different internet browser. If you are going to use this video to get hands-on practice with either product, you will need Microsoft PowerPoint installed on your device, a Gmail account, and some basic typing and mouse skills. In addition, please consider clicking the bit.ly links provided in the video description. The links should open up PDF files of a PowerPoint and Google Slides comparison chart, as well as a copy of the slides shown during this class. Feel free to use one or both files for note-taking purposes during the video or as content review aids after the video. Are you ready? Then let's get started. Getting started with Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. To open up PowerPoint for the first time, I'm going to move down to the bottom left corner of my desktop screen and click the magnifying glass icon to search my computer. I'm going to type the word power in the search box. And then once the program appears on my screen, PowerPoint 2016, I'm going to left click to open it up. Of all the options here, I'm going to click on the first option that says blank presentation, which will give us a blank slide to work with. To access Google Slides, you will need to first sign in to your Gmail account. And then once your Gmail account is signed in, you can go to the upper right corner to the Google Apps menu, which has lots of dots in it. Left click it. And if you scroll down in the list, you will see the Slides option that has a yellow piece of paper. You can left click the Slides option. It will open up the program in a new Internet Browser tab. To get started, you can go to the Start a New Presentation section and then left click the first option, which is Blank. That will open up a blank slide for us to work with. Reviewing the on-screen features of Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. To get a better idea of where to find the features in PowerPoint, let's look at a completed presentation. All of the features, commands, and actions in PowerPoint are listed in the tabs of what's called the ribbon. Right now, the Home tab is selected, and it includes the most frequently used commands, such as anything dealing with creating slides. If you click on the next tab heading, you can see more commands. Inserting any kind of visual element will be found under here. To add any backgrounds, you will go to the Design tab. To add interactive slide elements, Transitions will have its own tab. Animations has its own tab. To review the slideshow presentation when it's done, you would click Slideshow and use those options. Under Review, you can see things like spelling and grammar check. And the View tab allows you to change how the slide looks on your screen. On the left side of the screen, you can see an overview of the slides you created, and this is good for seeing the order that they're in and how your content appears on the slide. In the middle of the screen is the place that you click to add things to your slide and make changes to your slide. At the bottom, you may see this section called the Notes section, and this is where you can type in information that only the presenter sees, not the audience. If you don't see this section when you open up PowerPoint, you may just have to click on the Notes option at the bottom of the screen to turn it off or turn it on. In Google Slides, you can find the features that you will need in these drop-down menus at the top of the screen, such as File and Insert. To find a feature in the menu, you would just left-click the heading and then left-click on an option in the list to choose it. Below the drop-down menus is the options on the menu bar, and these are the most frequently used features of Google Slides that you can access with just one click. If you would like to see what the options are, you can just hover your mouse over the options, and it will tell you what it is, so you can figure out if you need it or not. Just like in PowerPoint, you can see the order of your slides on the left. You can see your working slide in the middle. That's where you can add and edit information. And the speaker notes are below the active slide. Adding text in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Let's return to our blank presentation in PowerPoint to get started typing text. When you first open a blank presentation, it adds a title slide like this automatically. It sets up a box in the middle of the screen and it allows you to click in the box to add your text. So I'm going to left click where it says click to add title and type a title in. As soon as I do that, there's extra options that appear in the ribbon. There's a Drawing Tools Format tab. If I click on the word Format, I can see there's lots of different options along the ribbon that allow me to change the shape, things about the text box, and the text itself. I can also click back on the Home tab and use these options found in this font group and the paragraph group to change the text on my screen. If you are familiar with Word, you'll see a lot of those same options there. I'm going to leave the text alone for now and move down to the bottom of the section. I'd like to add some notes just for the presenter, so I'll click back on the Notes option at the bottom of the screen, left click where it says click to add notes, and then type in a note. This is how you create a title slide. Let's add to our title slide in Google Slides now. I'm going to click where it says click to add title and type some text in, a Google Slides title. Once I clicked in the text box, a bunch of different text formatting options appeared, everything from Arial font to bolding to adding bullets or changing the alignment. So these are all things I can do to the text on my screen. I could also see the same options under the Format menu. I'm going to leave my text alone, so I'm going to left click outside of the text box and then move down to the speaker notes section and add a note for the speaker. This is how you create the title slide. And now we have our title slide set up in Google Slides. Choosing a design theme in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Let's return to our PowerPoint title slide now. You can see the text in the slide itself look very bland, and we'd like to do something to make everything stand out and add a little bit of color. The first thing we'll do is click on the Design tab in the ribbon and choose a design theme that will apply to all the text and all the slides that we add from here on out. So I'm going to go to the end of this theme section, click on the drop-down arrow to see all the options. You can always hover your mouse over an option and not click, and that gives you a preview of what the different theme looks like on your slide, and it can help you choose which one you want. I'm going to go down here to the one that says dividend with the purple and the white and left click it to choose that theme for my entire presentation. And you can see the text and the slide look a lot different and they stand out more. Next, I'm going to add a subtitle to the title slide by clicking in the subtitle box and then typing what I want, which will be with a PowerPoint design theme example. And now my title slide is complete. Now back at the Google Slides title slide, we are going to add a design theme here as well to make the text and the slide stand out. When we created the blank presentation, the Themes task pane automatically appeared on the right, giving us options to choose from. If that doesn't automatically appear, there is the option in the slide menu to change the theme at the bottom, or if you're not clicked in a text box, there is the theme option in the menu bar. To make it easy though, we will just choose from the task pane on the right. So we can scroll down to all the options and we'll find one that was similar to the PowerPoint theme, which is this one called Plum. It has the purple and the white. I'll left click to select it and it will apply the theme to our title slide. I'm going to add a subtitle to complete this title slide now. So I'll type with a Google slide theme example. And now one slide in our slideshow is complete. Inserting new slides in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Returning back to our PowerPoint presentation, now that we've completed our first slide, we would like to add more slides to the presentation. To do so, I'm going to click back on the Home tab in the ribbon and then click the arrow by the New Slide option. That will give you different layout options and it will show you what each slide will look like with that design theme and how the boxes are laid out and what type of content you can put in them. For this next slide, I'm going to choose Title Only by left clicking it, and it only gives me one text box to add a title on the slide. I'm going to click in that text box and type a PowerPoint slide layout example. Now let's learn how to add a new slide to our Google Slide presentation. One way you can do that is to go to the Slide menu and click the option that says New Slide. And it automatically gives you a particular slide layout, which gives you a title that's in bold and then a big box for text. But if you don't like that new slide and you want to choose something different, there's another way that you can choose your slide layout. First, I'm going to go to the Undo button, which is the left-facing arrow under the File menu, I'm going to get rid of that new slide and insert a slide another way that gives me more control over how the slide looks. So to the left of that undo arrow is a plus sign with a drop-down arrow, and that allows me to choose from different slide layout options like PowerPoint. And it shows you what it looks like with that design theme in place. I'm going to choose Title Only by left-clicking, and then click in the title box to add the title that I want, which will be a Google Slides Layout Example. And now I have the second slide in my presentation. To continue adding slides, I can repeat the process, which is clicking the arrow by the plus sign, clicking on a layout that I want, and it will add the new slide directly below my current active slide. Save and name your work in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Back at our PowerPoint presentation, let's save our work so that we don't lose it. To save what we have done so far, we'll click on the File menu in the top left corner and left-click Save As in the middle of the list. I'm going to click on the Browse option at the bottom and choose where I want my PowerPoint presentation to save on the computer. I'll make sure to click Documents, so it'll save on the Documents folder on my computer, and on File Name, I want to name it something different. So I'll put PowerPoint Slides with Text. And then it will save as a PowerPoint presentation so that I continue to work and edit it as I'm going along. To save my changes, I'll left-click the Save button at the bottom, and now my PowerPoint presentation has the title that I gave it. Back at our Google Slides presentation, saving and naming the presentation works a little bit differently. One thing we can do is go up to the name box of our slideshow. It automatically appears as Untitled Presentation whenever you start a new presentation, but we can easily add a name to it by left-clicking in that box and typing in a title. And I'm going to type in a different title than that shows here, so it'll be Google Slides with Text. So if I type in that title box and then left click away from the title box, now my presentation is saved. The nice thing about working with Google Slides in an internet browser instead of on the computer is that Google Slides automatically saves every single change as soon as I started typing. So I don't have to worry about saving it as I go or losing any information. Here next to the Help menu is called the Document Status. It can tell you when your last edit was. So if I made a change to my text, it will automatically update the slideshow with my change. If I click on that status update, it opens up the version history. So it gives you an idea of what versions you worked on, and it saves different versions of your work in case you want to go back to a previous version or if you want to keep the most current version. So it shows up to about 40 different versions at a time. Right now we only have 2 of them, but this is a good way to keep track of everything that you've done with your presentation. I'm going to click the left-facing arrow in the top left corner to return to my slides and get out of that version history. So Google Slides will automatically save all the work that you do without you having to manually click File and Save. So now I have a saved presentation and a titled presentation here in Google Slides. Insert images in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Back at the PowerPoint presentation, let's learn how to insert content that is not text-based but rather visual. So I've already created a new slide with a different layout that allows me to put in a title as well as not only text content but visual content. There are a few ways to add visual content into a slide. One way is to click the Insert menu at the top of the screen, and then there's different things that you can insert, whether it be images, illustrations, or links. An easier way within this slide is to hover over the icons that appear in the middle of the box, and that shows you the common types of things that you can insert into a slide. So we are going to look at this inserting online pictures option. We're going to click it, and it brings up a few options to insert pictures. One is using the Bing image search engine online. The other is if you have a Microsoft account and you have pictures in your personal cloud storage, your online storage in OneDrive, you can access those pictures from here. We are going to use the Bing image search box to find something. So I'll click in the search box and type in what I'm looking for. I'm going to type purple background because I want to find something that will match the design template that I chose. After I type in my search term, I'll press the Enter key, and Bing will bring up some results for me. The nice thing is that it finds Creative Commons images, which means they're not going to infringe on the copyright of the owners who created the images, so they should be free to use as long as you choose the Creative Commons option and that it is checked. So I'm going to go down and find this dark purple background. I'll left click it and see a check mark to know that it's selected, and then left click the orange insert button to add it to the presentation. What I can do now is there's lots of different options to work with the pictures. There's a new Pictures Tool Format tab that opens up, and there's different options that I can do to change this picture now that it's on the slide. The only thing I want to do is left click and drag the side placeholders so that it fits all on the slide, and it's not just in the middle, but that it takes up as much as the slide as possible so I can see what the background looks like. So I clicked and dragged the right fill bubble and then the left fill bubble to make it fill up the entire slide. And that's how you insert an online picture into PowerPoint. Let's go through how to insert an online picture in Google Slides now. I had to insert a new slide that allowed me to put in a title and content, which includes pictures. So even though it says click to add text, I can add other content such as online photos. There's a couple ways to insert photos into a slide. One way is to click the Insert menu and then Image and to choose from the list. But in fewer steps, I can click on the icon in the menu bar, which is this square with what looks like mountains at the bottom. That's also a way to insert an image. I'm going to left click that option, and you can see you have the option to choose a photo from your computer, search the web, or access photos saved in your Google Drive online storage, your Photos app, a URL if you have the URL of a website, or directly from your camera. We are going to choose the Search the Web option by left clicking and then type in a search. So we also want a purple background to match our design theme, and then I'll press Enter to see the different options. So I'm going to go down and choose this long background here. So I'll left click and it has a check mark to indicate that I've chosen it, and then I'll click the Insert option at the bottom of the task pane. And you can see it inserted a very big photo on top of my title. So I also want to click on the fill handles, this time on the upper corner, left corner handles. I'm going to click and drag to resize the photo so that it doesn't take up all the slide and that it fits in only in the text box that the image allows, that the slide allows. So that means I'm going to have to click all the different placeholders, whether it be on the sides or the top corners, just to make sure it fits within the placeholder here. And now it fits along the whole slide. And just like in PowerPoint, when it brought up a new tab full of different options for the image, all these different things here on the menu bar that you can hover over, you can see there's different things that you can do with the image once it's inserted into your slide. We're going to ignore those for now and just leave the image the way it is. Insert video links into Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Back at the PowerPoint presentation, we are going to go through how to insert a media file, a video file, instead of just a static image. I had to create a new slide with a title and content section. And this time, instead of clicking on online pictures, I'm going to click the last option on the second row, which is Insert Online Video. And PowerPoint gives me 3 different options. If I have a file already saved on my computer, I can choose that. You can search on YouTube for videos to link into your presentation. Sometimes this option doesn't work so well depending on the subscription that you have. So the option that we're going to try, which is easiest for an online video, is this From a Video Embed Code. So that means we're going to go first to the internet and find a video and then copy a link to it into the presentation. So Vimeo is a good video site to use because they have videos that have Creative Commons licenses, which means you have some freedom to use and share them in PowerPoint presentations. So you would go to the main vimeo.com page, type in what you're searching for, and then on the left side there are filters to refine by, and you can scroll down to the bottom to the license section. And a lot of these have Creative Commons licenses, which is what the CC stands for. The most open of all of them is CC0, which means there are no copyrights attached to the videos. But all of these have different variations depending on what the abbreviations mean. So you can always type in these abbreviations into Google to research exactly what these Creative Commons licenses mean, because you don't want to infringe on any copyright. So once again, this is the freest that you can do. So it's best to choose that one. And then you can choose a video from the list. So I found a Vimeo video related to our topic here. And I'm going to go to the bottom of the video and choose the share option. And it gives a video embed code. So I'm going to click to select it. So it's highlighted in blue, and then press the Control button on my keyboard and the C button to copy that embed code. Then I'm going to click back on my PowerPoint presentation, and there's a box that says Paste Embed Code here. I'll left click in the box, press and hold the Control key down, and then press the V key to paste that embed code into the box. Then I'll click the Insert arrow, and the video should appear in the PowerPoint presentation. So the link to the video is here, so it can be played. I'm going to click on the placeholders just to make it a little bit bigger on the screen. And you can see as soon as the video appeared, just like with the photos, there's a new Video Tools option. There's the Format option, so you can change how the video looks on the screen. And there's also a Playback tab that gives you some options for playback, although most of them aren't available for this particular video. So the video looks black right now, but if you go into the slideshow, when you look at how the show will appear when you present it, the video will appear active. It just is not showing right now because you're in edit mode. So that is how you insert an online video into a PowerPoint presentation. Let's go through how to insert a video clip into the Google Slides presentation. I've already created a new slide with a title and a content section. Now I'm going to go to the Insert menu, left click it, and in the drop-down menu, click the Video option. There are 3 different options. You can click to search and add a YouTube video. You can search for YouTube videos and click on one that appears. You can go to YouTube separately and paste the URL of the particular video into this box. Or you can go to Google Drive, which is your online cloud storage with Gmail, and insert a video that you already have. We're going to go back and choose by URL because we want to make sure we have some Creative Commons licensed videos and not copyrighted ones. So one way to find Creative Commons videos in YouTube is to go to youtube.com. In the search box at the top, type in what you're looking for example, Google Slides, and then press enter to search. At the top, you would click on Filters, and under the Features section, make sure to click Creative Commons. So these are videos that you have some freedom to use in your PowerPoint presentations. And then you would just click on a video title like I did here. And once the video opens on your screen, you can click and copy the URL, which appears here in the address bar. And that way you can link to it in your Google Slides presentation. So I'm going to click and drag to highlight this URL of the video. I'm going to press and hold the Control key and then the C key to make a copy of the URL. Then go back to my presentation, left click in the Paste URL box, press and hold the Control key and then the V key to copy the URL of the video, and I can see it copied correctly. And then I'll make sure to click the blue Select button at the bottom to add it onto my slide. And just like with the other video in PowerPoint, I have to click and drag to move it, and then click and drag these square placeholders to make sure it fits more on the slide. And this time, instead of on the menu bar, some formatting options appeared in the right task pane. So there are some options to choose how the video appears on the screen. There are some features that I can change now that the video is added into this presentation. So that is how you insert a video into Google Slides. Insert transitions and animations in Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Now we are going to learn how to add some emphasizing and engaging elements to the slideshow. Specifically, right now it's slide transitions, which shows how a slide enters or exits the screen during a presentation. So this is an example of a slideshow that does have some slide transitions built in. So if I press the Enter key, you can see how one slide disappears and the other enters. And if I keep pressing the Enter key, you can see the different transitions on each slide. Now I'm going to escape and I return to the original PowerPoint show. I'll make sure to click the Transitions tab on the ribbon to see the different options to choose from. If I click at the end of the section and click on this More button with the drop-down arrow, I can see the different transitions available. They are divided into subtle, exciting, and dynamic. So what you can do when you want to choose one is click on an option in the list, and you have the option to click the Preview button to see how the transition looks. And you can tell which one you clicked on because it's highlighted in gray. If you don't like the transition that you picked, you can always go back to the list of transitions and click on a different option. For example, I'm going to try the gallery option here in the exciting section. And it gives me a preview of what that transition looks like. And if I like it, I'll keep it. So I'll make sure to write gallery here in the list so I can keep track of the transitions that I've made. Now let's look at how to add animations to the slideshow. An animation is different from a transition because it allows you to make movements to certain elements within the slide. They affect the parts of the slide as opposed to the slide itself. We can look at some animation examples here in this slideshow. If I press enter, you can see not only how slides enter and exit, but how the title, or in some cases, the content move. I'll escape the presentation and move back to what I'm working on here. To add animations to different parts of your slide, which would be, for instance, the title, the subtitles, or the content boxes, anything within a text box can be animated. So we're going to click on the Animations tab in the ribbon, and then click on the More drop-down arrow at the end of the section to see the different options. They have entrance animations, emphasis animations, exit animations, motion paths, and others. We're going to focus on some of the basic ones here. So before choosing an animation, make sure to click on the element or part of the slide that you would like to animate. So for example, if I would like to animate this first box with content, I'll make sure to left click it so I can see the bubble fill handles. And then I'll go back to the animations list and choose an option. So for this box, I would like to choose the fade under the entrance section. And as soon as I do that, it gives me a preview of the animation, and it shows numbers here to indicate which order the animation will move. So it'll animate this first line, and then it'll animate this line last. I'm also going to add an animation to this second box. So I'll click on the second box of text, click on the list of animations, and I want to choose the fade under the exit section. And it'll give you a preview of the animation. And once again, it'll show you the order in which it will fade. So this first box will fade in, and this second box will fade out. And so you'll be able to see, you can click on the preview, and it'll show you the animations for the entire slide. So that's how you add animations into a PowerPoint slide. Let's go through how to add slide transitions to Google Slides. First, make sure to click on your slide on the left-hand side, and then you can either click the slide menu and choose transition from the drop-down list, or you can click transition in the menu. I'm going to click transition in the menu above the slide, and then all the different options for applying transitions appear on the right side of the screen. I'm going to click at the arrow at the end of the list that says none, and then you can see a small list of basic transitions to choose from. I want to make it match what I did with PowerPoint, and they do have an option that says gallery. So I'm going to click gallery. I have the option to choose the speed of which the transition takes place. I can apply it to every slide or just keep it to this one. For right now, I'm going to keep everything the way it is, and if I want to preview how the transition looks, I'll click the play button. And then it shows me how it's going to transition between slide 4 and 5. I'm going to click the stop button to stop the preview. And if I like that transition, which I do, I'll just make sure to keep it and add it to my list. Next, let's go through how to add animations to different parts of this current slide. Now, since we already added transitions, Google Slides also added a section for adding object animations. And all we have to do is select the part of the slide that we want to animate. So I'll click this first text box, then click the plus sign that says Add Animation. And there's a list here that says Fade In. If I click on that list, I can see the different animations available. I don't want to make a change. I want to keep Fade In. So I'll click that. And there I'll keep the animation to occur when I click the mouse or the Enter key. And I'll keep the speed the same. I'll click Play to preview both the slide transition and the object animation. I'll press the Enter key to see the animation. Then I'll click the yellow Stop button to stop the preview. I'd like to add another animation to the second box, so I'll click on that box, click the plus sign to add animation, and this time I'll click the drop-down arrow and choose Fade Out. I'll keep everything the same and click the play button to preview. It plays the transition. I press Enter to see the first animation, and then press Enter to see the last animation, and then I'll click Stop. I have the option to click the trash can if I want to get rid of a current animation and choose a different option from the list, but I won't do that right now. I'll click the X to close these options and just show you some other ways in which you can add animations. As long as you click on a section of the slide that you want to animate, you have options to insert animations through the menu bar here. There's Animate, or under the Insert menu, there's the animation option in the drop-down menu. So if you didn't already have that Motions task pane on the right-hand side appear, you can use the other ways to add animations to your slides. Viewing your Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation. Here in PowerPoint, let's go through the different ways in which you can set up and view your slideshow. You can do this once you've finished creating all the slides that you want in your show. The first thing you're going to do is click on the Slideshow tab in the ribbon, and the easiest thing to do is click this first option on the left that says From Beginning. In order to move through each slide and its transitions and animations, you either click the left mouse key, or you press the Enter key on your keyboard, and that moves the slide forward. When it's completed, you can press the Escape key in the top left corner of your keyboard to return to the slides. Another tool you can use to view your slideshow is this Use Presenter View option. If you check it, it will provide you with some tools that you can use to view the slideshow in Presenter View. So one way, you'll see the presenter view on the right, and then the audience view will be on the left. And you have tools on the bottom that will allow you to customize what the viewers see on the screen. To access presenter view, you can press the Alt key and the F5 key, and then when you're done using presenter view, you can press the Escape key to return to your slides. One other interesting feature is the Rehearse Timings feature here under Slideshow. If you left click that option, it allows you to time how long it takes you to speak and narrate each slide. There's a timer up here in the top. And when you're ready to move on to the next slide or transition, you would press the Enter key and the timer starts again. And this allows you to have a pre-recorded slideshow so that you don't have to be in front of your machine constantly moving the mouse or the Enter key to move it forward. At the end, it will show you your total recorded time, and you can save them and keep them for when you are showing your presentation, or you can re-record your presentation. I'm going to click No and return to my slides. Now let's look at how to view your presentation in Google Slides. One way is to click on the View drop-down menu under the title, and there's the Present option. and the first one in the list, or you can move here to the upper right corner of the page, and there's the Present button. If you left-click that button, it loads your slideshow on a full screen, and just like with PowerPoint, you can left-click on your left mouse button or press the Enter key to move forward each slide, transition, and animation. Once you're done viewing your slideshow, you can press the Escape key to return to the slides. You can also click on the button next to Present in the upper right corner and access the presenter view with some extra tools for the speaker. If you left-click Presenter View, a new window opens up and it provides you the option to time your presentation. It'll give you the preview of your presentation. You can see what your previous slide is and your next slide, and you can access your speaker notes here on the right. If you want to close the presenter view tools, you can click the X in the right corner and then press the Escape key on your keyboard to return to your slides. Reviewing the online and offline options for accessing your Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation. Microsoft PowerPoint provides both online and offline options for accessing the presentation for viewing, saving, editing, or sharing later on. If you've downloaded the desktop version to your computer or laptop, you can click on File and then Save As, and you're able to save to the particular machine where the program is or to a removable storage device such as a flash drive. Once you choose where to save it within the machine, you have the option to save it as a bunch of different formats. The most popular ones are the default PowerPoint presentation, which allows you to edit your slides. You can also save them as PDF files, which allows you to easily share and email the slides to others. If you don't want to save it on your machine, if you have paid for a Microsoft 365 subscription and you have the Microsoft account, you can save the file to your online cloud storage, which is called OneDrive, and that allows you to easily share it and save large files online. And with that Microsoft 365 account, you also have the ability to access additional features, such as the Present Online option, which allows you to provide a link to the presentation that can be viewed in a browser instead of on a particular machine. Google Slides also provides offline and online ways to access, view, edit, and share your presentations later on. One way is through the File menu. If you click File and then mouse over Download, you can see that Google Slides is compatible with lots of different common document formats. So you can download it as a PowerPoint presentation. It's compatible with PowerPoint. You also have PDF availability, image availability, and vector graphic availability. If you have the Google Chrome browser, another option for online access is to go to the Chrome Web Store, which allows you to install a small program that works with your web browser, and you can install Google Docs offline. This allows you to work with Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, and it allows you to work with them offline. And this is helpful if you don't have a very strong internet connection, or if you have a presentation that's taking too long to load or present due to having a lot of images and media files. In terms of online access, you can use the built-in version history feature that automatically saves your work, so you don't have to rely on manually clicking save every time you want to get your most updated version of the presentation. And another option available for Google Slides is the ability to stream your presentation on a TV using a Chromecast device, Apple AirPlay, or Google Hangouts. reviewing the online and offline options for sharing and collaborating with your Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation. Let's go through the ways in which you can share and collaborate with others on making changes to your presentation. If you have the PowerPoint presentation open on your computer or laptop, you can click on the Review tab in the ribbon, and these are all options that you can add within your presentation before you decide to share it with others. You can do things like add a comment or add inking marks. If you would like to share and collaborate online instead of offline, you have the ability to click the Share button at the top if you have a Microsoft 365 account, or you can go back in, like I said before, to File, Save As, and save a copy to your online cloud storage, your OneDrive account. So you do need just a Microsoft account for that OneDrive storage space. This is an example of a personal OneDrive storage space that does not require a paid subscription. So once you save a PowerPoint file to this space, like you see here, you can click in the top right corner to select it, and then there is a share option. You can click share, and then you can send the copy out to different people via email. You can choose who can edit the file or who can view it, and you can even add a password for secure access. You also have the ability to copy a link to the presentation to another email account so that they can just view the presentation. There are a few different ways to share and collaborate with others in Google Slides too. One way is to click the yellow Share button in the top right corner of the screen, and this allows you to share the presentation with other people. You have the ability to change who can edit and who can view. You can add email addresses, or you can copy the link to the presentation and put it in a different email account so that people can only view it if they have the link. That's sharing. Another option is to click on the File menu and then hover over Email. You have the ability to email this entire file to different people. You can choose who to email it to, you can add a message, and you can choose in what format you want the file to be. It can be in PDF, PowerPoint, or plain text. Lastly, if someone has the ability to open and edit or view the presentation and they see it on their screen like this, they have the ability to make changes on the screen but also add comments by clicking the Comments button here, and that allows them to add notes to the presentation, and then the original creator is able to view the comments by clicking on their own comment button. Review the free and paid options for Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Let's review the different pricing options for Microsoft PowerPoint. There is a free, very basic online version available if you sign up for a free Microsoft account. That would be the case if you purchase a new Windows PC or laptop. They provide you with a Microsoft account. If you have a Skype video conferencing account or an Xbox account, they require a Microsoft account. And when you sign up for that free account, you have access to some basic features, and that includes a version called PowerPoint Online. If you would like the full featured version that is downloaded to a computer or laptop, you would have to purchase a subscription to Microsoft 365, and that subscription is something you have to pay for annually in order to renew the subscription and use it year to year. This image shows you the different subscription options that are available, and you can get them for different numbers of devices, and they tell you what type of features are available in each subscription. The pricing options for Google Slides are a little bit different. Google Slides automatically comes as a service when you sign up for a free Gmail account. And you can see when we first created the blank presentation that you don't have to download any software to your PC or laptop. It just automatically comes up and opens in the browser. You do have the option to download the Google Slides app on Apple and Android devices, and that is also for free. So there is no fee involved for downloading or using Google Slides. And the other thing that's different is there is no difference between the basic and the full-featured version of Google Slides. How you see Google Slides on your screen and the features that are there is the same across all devices, whether you're accessing it in a browser on your laptop or using the app on your mobile device. The features and the look and how you use Google Slides is exactly the same. Thank you for following along with me during the review of some of the main features of Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. If you would like more assistance with any of the features described in the video, please feel free to start with the in-house help features, such as Tell me what you want to do here in PowerPoint, or in Google Slides, click on the Help menu. There are also some other online resources that you can use on your own. If you type support.microsoft.com in the address bar of your internet browser, you have access to the different training and help features of any of the Microsoft programs. You can click on PowerPoint from the main page, type in a question or topic, or click on any of the options on the page to explore different PowerPoint features and get help with things that may interest you. Google also provides a support page that you can use to get assistance with Google Slides. If you type support.google.com in the address bar of your browser, and then in the search box in the middle of the page, you can type the term or question that you would like to get help with. You can just type the word slides in the box and press enter, and there will be a list of help articles on the screen. And you can click the bolded topic of a help article to read further information about the topic. If you prefer to review some of the basic and intermediate features in a more structured format, similar to an in-person class, you can type gcflearnfree.org in the address bar of your internet browser to access some free online tutorials. From the main page, you can click on Topics, and there is a Microsoft section. For this example, you could click on 2016, and then the title PowerPoint 2016, and then you can see different lessons divided into categories. And if you'd like to view a lesson in depth, click on the lesson title. You can go through the lesson with a combination of text, links to practice documents, videos to explain the themes, screenshots to illustrate what the text is talking about, and challenges that allow you to apply what you've learned. GCF Learn Free also has tutorials to help you with Google Slides. If you click on the back button facing the left of your internet browser and you click that twice, you can go back to the topics and then find the Google section in the topic list. If you click More, you will see that there is a section on Google Slides. You can click Google Slides and see all the different lessons. And just like with the PowerPoint lessons, you can click on the bolded title to go through each lesson. If you would like to invest more time learning about Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides, or if you would like to find material geared towards intermediate and advanced users, you can use one of the databases provided by Northland called Gale Presents Udemy. From the northlandlibrary.org page, you can mouse over to eLibrary and click on County eLibrary. From that website, you can scroll down until you see the Udemy symbol and then click Go. Udemy will ask you to sign in with your library card number and then create a free account with them. And you can use either your Microsoft account credentials or your Gmail credentials to continue with Udemy. Once you get to the search page, you can use the search box and type in any keyword. If you type PowerPoint, you can view any of the lessons, and you can use any of the filters on the left-hand side to narrow down the results. So for example, if I click on intermediate, then I can click on a bolded title of a class, and you can see the description of the class. You'll figure out what you'll learn, the requirements for your machine, reviews, and it'll break down the course into lessons and the length of time. If you would like to enroll in the course, you would click the red Enroll Now button. You can also search for Google Slides help in Udemy. You can see a few options appear. They don't look to be separated, but it looks like you can get some help if you look at courses that cover Google Office, which includes Docs, Sheets, and Slides. We can also help you. If you have more in-depth questions and would prefer to work with a Computer Center staff member, please contact us at 412-366-8100, extension 131, or email us at nplcomp@einetwork.net. We can work with you to schedule a one-on-one phone help session or provide you with information via email that may help you with your Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides questions. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your online learning.